Welcome back to the channel. We have a few things to talk about regarding CD Projekt Red. It really doesn't look good for them at the moment, and I mean, as far as management are concerned, they totally deserve it. So for those of you unaware, I'll just quickly sum up exactly what's happened. So the trailers in early development said the Cyberpunk will come when the game is ready. Then all of a sudden, they scheduled it for April 2020, had to delay it 3 times and finally released the game on December 10th. When they did release it, they did everything in their power to hide gameplay of the base Xbox One and PS4 because the management board knew exactly how bad it was. With reviews for the game, the early reviews from certain content creators and gaming news outlets and stuff, they were not allowed to use their own footage. They had to use B-roll stuff. So there's been a lot of lies, a lot of deception. And the game's been an absolute shambles. Even on PC, it's had a lot of problems since it released. But there has been a few things that have come up, since the launch of the game. Sony completely changed their refund policy, and they allowed everyone to get refunds. Microsoft did the same thing for Xbox. Sony actually pulled the game off their PlayStation store, and said it won't be back until further notice. And CD Projekt Red even went as far as apologising for the mess from the management. They created a dedicated email for people to reach out to if they needed help getting refunds and stuff. And they have also promised that there are patches coming up that will fix the game. But there are some things here that are really pissing me off hearing about. Well, one thing that's really pissed me off to hear about, and we're actually going to get into that last, but the first thing I want to talk about is the founders have now lost $1 billion from the shambles of a launch of this game. CD Projekt Red are also talking about having other projects upcoming. I believe they're actually making a mobile game of The Witcher that's going to have AR features and stuff. They are working on a lot of stuff, but the founders of the company have lost a lot of money due to Cyberpunk launching in such a really, really bad state. It hasn't been anywhere near as bad on PC, and it weren't as bad on the PS5 and the Series X, or even Stadia. Nowhere near as bad as the Xbox One and the PS4, so that's the biggest problem. And I'm not in any way, shape or form saying this is a bad game. I'm absolutely loving it, but I am kind of skeptical about playing it due to the last thing we're going to talk about, the thing that's popped up, and it's got me really, really worried for the future of this game because there's no talks about changing it. But just so that we can get over to that topic, the founders have lost $1 billion. The investors are possibly going to be filing lawsuits against CD Projekt Red for all of the manipulation, the lies and everything surrounding the game's release. And then moving into the final thing, and I really don't know what to think about this, especially with how CD Projekt Red are handling this issue. When you are playing on PC, I'm not entirely sure about the other platforms, but at least for PC, if you are playing the game and you have your manual save files, you've saved the game yourself, if those said files pass 8 megabytes in storage size, that can quite easily corrupt your entire game save. So I'm going to put the warning out there, and if you play on PC, make sure you have a couple of manual saves so that you don't lose too much progress. I think the game's autosaves do overwrite that corruption, I'm not entirely sure. But just be wary because this can quite easily lose a lot of hours worth of gameplay. Exactly the same thing happened with Ubisoft's Watch Dogs Legion. I think it might have even happened with Assassin's Creed Valhalla as well, I'm not entirely sure. But the official response from CD Projekt Red, they have said to players to not pick up so many items because picking up different bits of loot and junk and everything that's in the game world to be picked up, having far too much stuff on your character is going to increase the file size for your game save. That is what's going to cause your game save to pass 8 megabytes in size. So essentially, having a lot of stuff in your inventory will corrupt your entire game save. So their official response was to stop picking up so many items. It's an RPG fucking game. The whole point is to pick up different bits of loot and stuff and sell your junk, dismantle things, so that you can get crafting materials and everything. But even the crafting materials are adding to that game, save file size. And there is nothing they are going to do. They've just said at some point in the future, they look to try and increase the file sizes of your game saves from 8 megabytes to whatever, so that there aren't corruptions. But until then, until at least further notice, you are going to have to be careful, because there is a chance that if your game save passes 8 megabytes in size, your entire fucking save goes corrupt. It's the most stupid thing I've heard, and CD Projekt Red is supposed to be like the biggest gaming company in Europe. They keep going up and down like off the top spot. But for a company this big to be that fucking stupid really gets my gears grinding. I don't know if I can trust my game save. I'm gonna have to make several just so that I hope it works, so that I can keep my game progress by making several different game saves, and then if anything goes wrong with one of them, hope and pray that the others work. I cannot fucking believe this is actually happening from CD Projekt Red. How are you going to limit the size of game saves in an RPG and limit them to only 8 megabytes? And I'm going to put some context behind 8 megabytes. Licenses for DLC and things are 2 megabytes bigger than that. When you purchase, I don't know, let's say Warlords of New York for the Division 2, you purchase that, or any form of DLC, the license on Xbox is 10 megabytes. So instead of having like a 6 or 7 gig installation, you install 10 megabytes, that grants you the license that gives you access to the stuff that they've put into the game. Those are 10 megabyte licenses on the Xbox. And on PC, you are not allowed more than an 8 megabyte fucking game save in an RPG in a big game that's supposed to take hours and hours to complete. You're not allowed more than 8 megabytes, otherwise your save is going to corrupt. Honestly, pretty much every single day there is something new that happens with this game or with CD Projekt Red that just lowers their reputation. Every single day lately, they have just managed to go to next level stupidity. They are always taking their stupidity to new levels, all the fucking time. I really don't understand why they've done this. I don't understand how they can't get a simple fix out for it. And the fact that not only have they manipulated everyone, there's been deception and lies and everything, they're now going to limit your game progress. Don't forget, if you find a fucking earring in the street in Cyberpunk, don't pick it up. That could corrupt your game save. That's how stupid this shit is. It's an RPG game. And the people that made it are telling you to stop picking up so much stuff. I'm going to leave the video there before my blood pressure starts rising, because I can tell you I'm fuming with this. I hope they continue to lose more money so that they can realise you don't fuck with gamers. We are a community. We are standing for what is right, and what they have done is not right. And these investors trying to file lawsuits, just make sure you have a valid reason to actually do it. And there's another thing that's come to light to show how stupid CD Projekt Red is. They made an entire Xbox One X console that was all themed around Cyberpunk. That console can't even play the fucking game that it was made for. Just let that one sink in, especially all the fanboys that are going to continue defending CD Projekt Red. Oh, don't worry, it's not you, it's us. No, it's not the gamers at all. It's the company that made the game. Let me know all of your thoughts and stuff about this in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you enjoyed it.